Good evening and welcome. I'm Michelle Holland.
And I'm Andy Friedman.
And on behalf of the Society for Contemporary Art, we want to welcome you to our 2020 SCA Gala and Auction.
Michelle, no.
Oh, right.
Our benefit is a virtual party and auction.
Not a gala.
That's right. And tonight is the online kickoff.
The gala is off, but the auction is on to benefit the SCA.
Yes, and it starts right now.
Well, actually, the auction started today at noon on Sotheby's.com.
That's true, but the kickoff event is just about to begin, and everyone is tuning in for that now.
And then bidding.
And then moving to virtual party rooms that our attendees have lined up with friends. And yes, then bidding.
But not just bidding tonight, because the auction will continue through Monday, December 14th, when it will close at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.
That's right, on Sotheby's.com.
And this is a party. I mean, I don't have a drink in my hand for nothing, right?
Well, we do have an entertaining kickoff event that will begin once we stop talking. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good.
It's good. 6 feet. Welcome. I'm Jason Pickleman.
And I'm Tony Tasset.
Thanks for logging on and taking some time out of your very, very busy screen-based life to look at another screen. You've logged on to our first ever virtual kickoff for the SCA Collector Sale, a benefit for the Society for Contemporary Art at the Art Institute of Chicago.
Are we having fun yet? If you need closed captioning, that feature is located on the bottom of your screen. Just press the button and words will magically appear.
Tonight, we will hear from the Art Institute of Chicago's Deputy Director, Chair, and Curator, Modern and Contemporary Art, Ann Goldstein, as well as from President and Eloise W. Martin Director, James Rondeau. Then, SCA Board President David Eglin will say something, and SCA Collector Sale, who you just saw, Michelle Holland and Andy Friedman, will come back and say a few more funny words.
We will also check in with 3 Chicago-based artists who generously donated work to this auction: Candida Alvarez, Asaf Evron, and William J. O'Brien.
And to round out this very exciting virtual kickoff, we will hear from Sotheby's senior, and that's not that he's senior or old or anything, just senior international specialist, Michael McCauley, who will review some selected auction lots.
And because this is the kickoff for our auction, we're going to give you a short tutorial about online bidding on the Sotheby's.com auction site. You know, I was promised a Prada suit for this. I don't know. Are they taking measurements or?
They promised me a water bottle. I got the water bottle. You didn't get the water bottle?
This is not a suit.
That's a face shield.
Anyway. Okay.
If you have questions tonight, feel free to enter them into the chat feature, and we'll answer a few of them a little later on in this program.
Now, please welcome SCA Board President and last week's Star Baker, David Eglin.
Thank you, Tony and Jason, and welcome everyone to our first ever virtual SCA fundraiser. The Society for Contemporary Art has been an integral part of the Chicago art community for over 80 years. And throughout our history, we have made historic acquisitions to the Art Institute, hosted influential artists and curators with our lecture series, and offered fascinating trips to art destinations around the globe. All of this has been possible due to the generosity and support of our members. Now, with our collector sale, you all have the opportunity to continue to support the SCA while acquiring an amazing work of art for your own personal collection. I hope that all of you will visit our online auction at Sotheby's.com and bid for that special piece for your own home. I want to thank our 2 incredible co-chairs, Michelle Holland and Andy Friedman, who have had to pivot our plans multiple times throughout the past 12 challenging months. But they've certainly succeeded in orchestrating this incredible collector sale kicking off tonight. Thank you to both of them and their entire committee for their hard work and creativity and perseverance in pulling off this fundraiser. Before I turn the camera over to Ann Goldstein, we'd like to thank our partners at the Art Institute of Chicago, James Rondo, President and Eloise W. Martin Director, Ann Goldstein, Deputy Director, Chair and Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art, Henrik Folkerts, Didmer Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art, and Jordan Carter and Robin Farrell, Associate Curators, for their counsel and steadfast support to prepare for this event and throughout the last year. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for that lovely introduction. I join you this evening with profound gratitude. James Rondo and I are so thankful for your presence tonight and for your continued support through these unprecedented times. We are grateful for the incredible efforts of the tireless co-chairs of the Society for Contemporary Art, Michelle Holland and Andy Friedman. Thank you as well to SCA President David Egeland and the entire SCA board and staff who deserve our heartfelt recognition for their time and amazing efforts in making tonight possible. Welcome, everyone. We are joined by many longstanding friends tonight. The Department of Modern Contemporary Art at the Art Institute of Chicago is very fortunate to have such a tremendous group of supporters. I'm deeply appreciative of the SCA's incredible dedication. The organization brings vision, care, and vital patronage to contemporary art at the museum. Your exceptional generosity is what allows this organization to continue to provide support to the museum and our artists over the course of the next 2 years. Our deepest gratitude must also be extended toward the artists, galleries, collectors, and others who have honored us by so generously and enthusiastically donating to tonight's auction. It is an absolutely amazing group of works. The full list is available on the SCA website as well as Sotheby's platform, and I urge you to take a moment to review it in full. Each name and organization is part of the fabric that keeps our museum's contemporary art program alive in the city of Chicago, and this evening could not exist without them. Everyone's contribution to the auction tonight is crucial in supporting and acknowledging the enormous efforts and contributions of those represented on our donation list. On behalf of the department, I thank you in advance for your critical and generous participation. And with that, I turn the floor back to Jason and Troy and wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, David and Ann. Oh, Jason, I know that you know about Yves Klein, who patented his own paint, his own blue paint called, what's it called?
IKB.
IKB, International Klein Blue. But do you know AGR? That's Ann Goldstein Red. It's her patented lipstick. It's actually made out of crushed beetles, very rare. That could be a rumor, I'm not sure.
I think it's a
Anyway,
rumor.
I do digress. Okay, folks, now we are lucky to have with us Candida Alvarez, at least virtually. Candida is known for her complex, vibrantly layered combination of abstract and figurative forms rich in pop, historical, and modern art references that incorporate world events and personal memories. Take it away, Candida Alvarez.
I've done a lot of like smaller paintings for the year, right? I mean, I did, because 2020 was such a beautiful, I mean, the numbers, you know, it's just so elegant and so beautiful. And I just love that idea of perfect vision, you know, like we should have 20/20 vision, right? And so finally, I'm just telling my eyeballs to just relax and accept the fact that we need help. But that idea of 2020 slowly slipping away, right? So this idea of anything perfect. But, you know, there's certain, I mean, the numbers themselves, and this is the year, right? So I started doing these 20 by 20 paintings because I just felt it was fitting. And I never realized this, but well, it's kind of like the whole politics of, the election and all of that, right? And then you start using certain colors. So I was really wanting to use red, and red is a color I have not used in a long time. And red, of course, as a Latina, was always that color that was kind of stereotyped, right? And so I used it, but then I haven't used it in a long time. I kind of just haven't used it, but I felt like screaming with it. And this was just finished 2 days before the election. And then when I looked at it, I said, oh my God, it's the colors of the Republican and the Democratic Party. All of a sudden I was like, is color still color? Can I just use color the way I thought about color? But no, now it has another dimension. But then you kind of have to let it go. I just want to say, Boricua La Luna is a refrain in a song. It's about Puerto Rico, and it's about the love of Puerto Rico. It's a political sort of cry, right, for claiming Puerto Rico, no matter where you are in life, whether you're up in the moon, Boricua La Luna, I'm still going to have Puerto Rico in my heart. It's kind of interesting, how everything is related. Well, I'm really happy and delighted to be able to share a little peek into my world. And I hope you enjoy the show. And thank you for listening.
That was great, Candida. Thank you. I love the yellow apron. Comme des Garçons, special Ray Kawakubo knockoff or a one-off? Do you have her direct line? Because I think I'd look really good in one. Anyway, we are here back at Wright at the preview for the SCA collector sale. And what are we talking about? I'm going to tell you about the auction link, because you're going to want to go to the collector sale at sotheby's.com and bid on all of this great work. The link is in your chat box, so check out the chat box. But now, please welcome Sotheby's Senior International Specialist, Michael McCauley, who's going to tell us about some of these awesome featured lots in this great sale. Take it away, Michael.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to you here from Sotheby's in New York. My name is Michael McCauley. I'm a Senior International Specialist in the Contemporary Art Department here and an auctioneer. It is my very great honor, and I'm delighted to be introducing this benefit auction through this virtual kickoff event for the Society for Contemporary Art, supporting its crucial work for the Art Institute of Chicago. This auction, with all the details available at sotheby's.com, includes 50 works that have been extremely generously donated by premier local and international galleries and collectors. It's now my real privilege to talk through a few of these highlights, and I hope you enjoy following along. Check out the details on sotheby's.com and please consider bidding. The first work that we're going to talk about is Simone Lee's The Village series, number 22 from 2019. This is an incredibly exciting work from one of the most sought after contemporary artists working today. She was born in Chicago, of course, and has recently been included in the Whitney Biennale last year and has been selected to represent the United States at the Venice Biennale in 2022. The Art Institute of Chicago last year, thanks to Larry and Marilyn Fields, were gifted the work Dunham, a major acquisition for the Art Institute. And this work is really exceptional in its quality and a very generous gift directly from the artist. The next lot is Louise Lawler's Formica, generously donated by the artist and Metro Pictures. Lawler, of course, one of the founder members of the Pictures generation, one of the most exciting photographers to have worked in the last 40 or 50 years. This work is especially important because it's a photograph taken at the Art Institute showing a work by Richard Archwager together with a painting by Agnes Martin, and the distortion really makes us consider themes of representation, which are so central to her corpus. This is an astounding model of really one of the most exciting photographers of recent times. The next highlight is Richard Tuttle's Zero Space from 2019, courtesy of The Artist and Pace Gallery. Tuttle, of course, a titan of American post-minimalism and a standard bearer of museum shows since the 1975 Whitney Museum exhibition that surveyed the first 10 years of his work. He's subsequently been included in exhibitions around the world, including Documenta, Whitney Biennale, and many, many others. This work Tuttle's work is represented in the Art Institute's permanent collection, from 10th cloth octagonal to the last light work. It's a very important and seminal work that is extremely exciting to be included in this online auction. Next we have Nari Bagramian's Waste Basket, Bin for Rejected Ideas, generously donated by the artist and Marion Goodman Gallery. Bagramian, of course, born in Iran and living and working in Berlin since 1984. This work is absolutely archetypal of her interrogation of subject versus object themes. She was included in the Venice Biennale last year in 2019, and the Art Institute includes in its permanent collection her major work, Slip of the Tongue, from 2014. This is an important seminal work from the artist and a very generous donation.
Thank you, Michael. Did you know Michael is actually from Terre Haute, Indiana? They teach that accent at Sotheby's Institute, so it helps sales, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, now we're going to tell you how you can bid on the artwork in this auction. Go to the Sotheby's website and select the search button.
That will lead you to a list of auctions, including ours.
Once you're there, browse the auction. This is also called shopping.
Select a first lot you'd like to bid on.
At that point, log in or create an account if you don't have one. This is at the point where I would ask my son to help me. So if you have any children, grandchildren, just anybody younger than you, they might be able to help you out here.
Once you set your bid, Sotheby's will alert you via email or text if someone bids more than you. If you placed a maximum bid, Sotheby's will automatically place incremental bids for you up to your maximum bid. If somebody outbids you, they'll let you know, and you can place another bid or set another maximum bid.
Of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to Sotheby's.
Or you can call Helen Goldenberg. Her cell phone number is 773-459-0586. That number again, 773-459-0586.
Oh boy. Our second featured artist tonight is Asaf Evron. In his latest work, Asaf investigates the history and social context of architecture with a photojournalist's eye, providing the opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the built world and the human complexity behind it. You're on Asaf Evron.
Hi, I'm Asaf Evron, and welcome to my studio. The work that I'm going to talk about is the polychromy study for the White House. And it started with a research that I made for another work a few years ago. I was looking at the way people imagined the way Greek architecture was painted. And I dove into the Ryerson Library and found this beautiful, beautiful portfolio by Jacques-Ignace Hittorf that was a major 19th century French architect. And he made those studies about these potential colors that the Greek temples in Sicily were painted, and in the political climate of the past year, it somehow became relevant to kind of think about the White House or the potential polychromy for the White House, because it's interesting how the White House that is actually not like it's actually painted white. It's not even like the material. It's not using white marble. It's been painted every few years in white. That it's all based on this like fake or false idea of democracy and the way Greek temples were painted. The premise of this work is about this like speculative imagination. It's not a scientific study. It is not only about speculating the color, but speculating about or imagining a different political setup, which is also very hard to do. It's very hard, you know, when you're submerged in one reality, to imagine a different reality.
We are back live at Right. It's actually a rave. I'm tripping my balls off on ecstasy. What about you, Tony?
I'm not, really.
No, we're really not. We're here, right, to preview this awesome artwork for the SCA collector sale. And I thought we'd kind of walk around a little bit, staying 6 feet apart.
Yes.
And look at some of these cool things, like David Salkin's awesome rug. Or this beautiful work by Richard Hall, a Chicago favorite, hometown fan. Love this thing, courtesy of Western Exhibitions and the artist.
Continuing the Imagist tradition too in Chicago. And this is a great piece. I don't know if if the camera can see by Pope L. He's bottled Flint water and made a special box of Flint water. I told Jason not to do that joke. It's also hand-drawn, the box itself. So this is a great object, a great piece of sculpture signed on the other side. What else? What else do we have?
We were going to talk about Galen Gerber.
Galen Gerber, a good friend of mine and somebody who has been around. He's been making work for 40 years, really, believe it or not. And I just think, you know, one of the most interesting kind of conceptual artists, very rigorous. This is a piece using his signature gray paint where I think he's been interrogating power for many, many years.
I think it's a mask from the Bavarian State Opera.
I did not know that.
So it's very international. And I think, what else can we point out? This really great groovy piece by a young emerging artist named Klaus Oldenburg.
And here's a great piece maybe to end on. Very prescient piece, kind of a sad piece, I think, that talks about maybe the last few years we've been, or at least the last couple years we've been into, by a guy named Jason, oops, I'm looking at the wrong camera, Jason Pickleman.
Bit on that. And I guess the last piece I want to point out to everybody is this one here by Shirin Neshat, which I think is so bizarre and enigmatic. I didn't know what to think of it when I first saw it. And I like that in an artwork. The less I know, the more mystery it has, the more interested I am in it. And the artist is going to be featured at the Art Institute of Chicago, I believe next year, on the Bloom Terrace. So a good moment to catch a cool artist that is going somewhere.
On top of the roof, for one place. But now, I'd like to take a moment of your time to talk about something serious. Many of you who are watching this tonight suffer from this same problem. It's called too much money. Well, tonight, my friends, you can unburden yourself of those pesky extra dollars and purchase something truly exceptional that will seriously enrich your daily life. The art in this auction, in all seriousness, is really good. In fact, it's outstanding.
We have 50 works generously donated by artists. It would have been 51 works had Tony Tasset given us something.
Sorry.
We asked him. We have donations from world-class art dealers, present company excluded, and we have artwork from notable collectors, some of them anonymous, but I actually happen to know who they are, And let me just tell you, you would be amazed at their generosity. So let me put it bluntly. You want to be a winning bidder of a lot in this auction.
The proceeds from this auction fund James Rondo's haircuts, while also providing the SCA with the operating budget to bring all of us exceptional educational programs, performances, and haven't the performances been great the last few years? Thank you, Hendrik, and other initiatives.
So, lastly, proceeds from this auction allow the SCA to purchase art for the museum's permanent collection. It's that simple. So good things happen when you place a bid.
Now, let's hear from Art Institute of Chicago President and Eloise W. Martin Director, James Rondo.
Hey everybody, it's James. Thrilled to be with you. Thanks for having me. You know, for the past 80 years, the Society for Contemporary Art has played a transformative role in the growth and development of our museum's contemporary collection, in its relationship with artists and curators, collectors and colleagues across the nation, and indeed around the world. And it's elevated the range and the caliber of our museum's already stellar and widely envied programming. You know, when walking through the contemporary galleries, many of our museum's icons, the objects essential to our ability to narrate an inclusive story of contemporary artistic practice at the highest levels of quality, they carry the credit line, gift of the Society for Contemporary Art. Jackson Pollock's Great Rainbow, Joan Mitchell's City Landscape, Nam June Paik's Family of Robot, The Baby, Lorna Simpson's Suit, to name just a very few. In my time at the museum, first as a curator and now as president and director, I've always felt the integral partnership of the SCA. In fact, the Society for Contemporary Art was the first to publicly welcome me as a new associate curator back in 1998. For its first educational program of that season, the SCA hosted me and then adjunct curator Okmin Wazor in conversation to discuss our philosophical approach to contemporary art, our vision, and our plans and our hopes and our dreams for the future at the Art Institute. Having this support allowed me to forge relationships both within and outside the museum community. These were the building blocks of my success. The roster of artists the Society of Contemporary Art has hosted throughout the past 2 decades alone has elevated new and emerging voices and reinforced our museum's leadership role in the expanded field that is contemporary art today. I am grateful, always, for the ongoing dedication, vision, and commitment of the SCA and for its support of our museum's mission through this evening's event. The SCA has, continues to play, will always play a defining role in identifying and amplifying artists' voices, amplifying their stories for our museum, for our audiences, for our city, and for the world. Thank you so much. I would now like to bring the program back to Michael McCauley, who will share a few more highlights from the SCA Collectors Sale auction.
We have Angel Otero's wonderful Untitled SKLE from 2013. This painting has been very generously donated by Helen Goldenberg, a friend, very good friend to us at Sotheby's, and Michael Alper. This work is really exactly characteristic of Otero's use of heavy paint skins across the surface. Otero, of course, born in Puerto Rico and moved to Chicago to do his MFA. Is extremely sought after in the market. In 2020 alone, 4 works have almost doubled their estimate and achieved a high watermark of $75,000. So this is a very important painting and an exciting opportunity to acquire his work. Next, we have an extremely exciting painting by Paulina Alauska, The Stone Queen from 2018. This work's been donated by the artist and the Foxal Gallery Foundation. It's exactly typical of the themes of consumerism and feminism explored by the artist, the Polish-based painter. And there's a special resonance here with the Society for Contemporary Art, as she will be included at the Iterations Performance Series at the Art Institute of Chicago in 2021 and was part of the SCA's acquisition program in 2017. The record for her work at auction has been $112,000. So again, this is a very, very strong opportunity to acquire her work. The next work is Vivian Suter's Untitled, which is undated. This seminal canvas is part of really typical of her works that she's been executing in the Guatemalan rainforest for the last 30 years, reflecting the environment all around her. It may be familiar to a number of you following the installation of her major work, El Bosque, in the Modern Wings Griffin Court in 2018-2019, as well as the Art Institute's holding of Rack, another important painting. Suter's rediscovery really recently has proved something that's incredibly exciting, but her work has remained very, very rarely available on the open market. So once again, it's a very exciting opportunity to acquire the artist's work. And the final work that I would like to discuss is Tom Burr's Grip 13 from 2016 that's been donated by the artist and Bortolami Gallery. Burr's work, of course, for decades has interrogated boundaries of race, gender, sexuality, using a minimalist and post-minimalist vernacular. And this work with hot rolled steel and glass is absolutely typical and emblematic of that. Burr was part of the 2017 SCA's annual acquisition vote, and although not selected, 22 members nevertheless clubbed together and acquired the work for the Art Institute, his 2017 sculpture Railings, which of course is a highlight of the permanent collection. Burr's work very rarely seen on the market. The last time a unique sculpture came to auction was in 2018 when it tripled its high estimate to make $36,000. So that's a very brief overview of a few highlights in this very exciting auction. Please visit Sotheby's.com to view the rest of the lots, and please consider bidding. It's been a great honor for Sotheby's to partner in this effort to support the Society for Contemporary Art. Thank you very much for your attention, and good luck with the auction.
We are back live, not recorded, live. Right, Tony?
Yeah, live.
This is the part of the program where we are going to answer your questions, which have been blowing up the chat box in our live feed. I was given this iPad from our producer. I've actually never touched or held an iPad before. My wife has one, but I'm not allowed to touch it. The first question is anonymous, and it says, Tony, how come you don't have any artwork in this auction?
I think Jason wrote that. Good question. I never show with Richard Tuttle. I just won't show with him. It's just a thing. I don't want to go into it.
Okay, that's understandable. Our second question is for Tony. Tony, now that you're retired and have all this time on your hand, aren't you making a ton of artwork? And shouldn't you be donating something to this auction?
Rolling live, people. Live.
They're going live.
Live.
So I guess our last question would be, seriously, Tony, if you could buy anything, price be damned, what would you buy?
Probably that Louise Lawler, but if anybody was buying a gift for me, I've kind of got a soft spot for the Sylvie Fleury. That really brings back the memories, and I don't know, I love it.
I wanted the Louise Lawler.
Sorry, you snooze, you lose, bruh. That's how auctions work.
Lesson to all of you that are bidding, always bid one more time.
All right, and now it is time for our third and final featured artist, William J. O'Brien, whose diverse practice comprises painting, sculpture, drawing, and installation. His idiosyncratic and exuberant forms are born out of an improvised and intuitive studio practice, rich in material experimentation. You're on William J. O'Brien.
I'm William J. O'Brien. I'm an artist based in Chicago. I'm also a professor at the School of the Art Institute. My current art practice extends from drawing into sculpture and installation, but one could say that my work is really influenced and starts in drawing. Drawing is a really amazing material because it's accessible. It also offers a very wide range of physical expression with drawing, so you can actually see time very well in the essence of a drawing. Someone said to me once, a good drawing tells a good story. And a lot of the ways that I think about these drawings is actually, how do you tell a story with shape and color and line that can also be reminiscent of movement, things that we have seen in our childhood. Some people have associations with a lot of these drawings with kaleidoscopes or also patterning. This whole range and body of work really extends from my interest almost also in film, where I really look at each one of these drawings as being almost like a still that captures in time a moment for me in terms of what that moment was like in the history of me making the work. Art has an essential role, especially now during the pandemic, to bring people together. Society of Contemporary Art really serves as this important meeting point to bring new and established art into the museum to give people different perspectives on what contemporary art can look like.
Michelle and I are back to say our thank yous.
This will just take a minute, but before we let you go, we really do want to thank the people who helped to make this event and this auction possible.
So we must start by offering a wholehearted thank you to the artists, galleries, and collectors who donated work to the auction and all their unwavering support and friendship to this organization. Next, thank you to Prada for serving as our lead sponsor and supporting the SCA. We look forward to continuing this partnership in the years to come.
Many, many thanks to Sotheby's, to Gary Metzner for being our champion in every way, to both Gary and his colleague Molly Nelson, and to Michael McCauley for sharing his outstanding insights.
A huge shout out to Richard Wright and his team at Wright Auctions, who helped us in so many ways. We literally could not have staged an online auction without you. Thank you to artists Candida Alvarez, Asaf Evron, and William J. O'Brien for graciously sharing their work and ideas with us.
Wild applause is due to our MCs Jason Pickleman and Tony Tasset for a most memorable kickoff event, and to our producer Carrie Kennedy, who with Jason Pickleman and David Salkin made our production look so good. Thank you to our art committee, our chair Kate Neiser, and committee members David Salkin, Jessica Diamond, Aaron Gent, and you, Andy.
Thank you to our creative committee, Jason Pickleman, David Salkin, and you, Michelle.
Big thanks to our staff, Program Director Jennifer Rudock-Corleone, who is watching tonight with her new baby boy Beckett, and to Coordinator Jennifer Moon and Benefit Coordinator Bianca Bova.
And sincere thanks to our SCA Board President, David Eglund.
Thank you to our host committee for supporting this auction, for engaging your family and friends, and for your ongoing generosity.
Thank you to all those who came together to generously underwrite the cost of this production.
Thank you to our other in-kind sponsors, Terry Dowd, Inc., Aaron Gent and Document, the Icon Group, Jason Pickleman and the J&L Graphic Design, Seaberg Framing, Wright, David Salkin Creative, Joe Shanahan and Metro Smart Bar, and the Violet Hour.
Lastly, thanks to all of you for attending tonight. And thank you in advance to everyone who bids on great art to benefit the SCA. Let's turn this back to Jason and Tony one last time.
We are back, live. We just got to say one last thank you to Tony Carmen, because you can't do anything in Chicago without thanking Tony Carmen, President and Director of Expo Chicago. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Tony. Carmen, that is. And I also want to extend a personal thank you to David Salkin, because none of this would have happened without David. So thank you, David. You are my partner in crime.
And for those of you who arrange for a private party room, you can now magically receive your guest. I don't know what that means, really, but I'm supposed to be reading it.
It has something to do with the internet.
I feel uncomfortable. I'll keep reading. Simply exit out of the full screen. That is, if you went to full screen at the beginning of the kickoff. This is how Jeffrey Toobin got in trouble.
We won't get in trouble.
Okay.
I might have already gotten in trouble. If you are a guest, exit full screen, scroll down the event webpage to the list of the party rooms, and click on the name of your host or hosts. You may have to wait a moment because they have to let you in. But truth be told, you can really go into any party room you want. You can crash any wedding or any Zoom party. So have fun tonight.
And to everyone who attended tonight, or if there's anyone at all who is still listening or watching, thank you for supporting the SCA. Remember, bidding continues until Monday, December 14th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time when the auction closes.
And on behalf of the SCA, the Society for Contemporary Art, stay safe, have fun, and bid on the artwork.
Spend your money. Spend your money. Spend that money.